a world where action movies are made, not all action movies are created equal. Only the best make it into the Action Movie Hall of Fame.
Knock, knock. Can you fly, Bobby?
There can be only one.
And action. Hi, I'm Matt Brand.
And I'm Derek Bordelot, and this week we're coming to you from Lerner Airfield, where gas is only $1.09 a gallon.
Those are the days where you can just douse yourself with gasoline without a care in the world.
Oh, a good old gasoline fight.
Welcome to the Action Movie Hall of Fame, where each episode we do a deep dive on an action movie. And at the end, we have to decide, we have to agree whether or not the movie belongs in the Action Movie Hall of Fame. Now, it probably goes without saying, but there are going to be spoilers. Derek, what movie is up for potential induction into the Hall this week?
This week's nominee is 1997's Con Air.
All right, let's look to the skies.
Here's the jacket on Cameron Poe. His wife's on the way here now. U.S. Ranger, highly decorated. Did a little hell raising when he was a kid, but nothing serious.
Explain to me why any of this matters.
Fact one, we got a plane up there filled with killers, rapists, and thieves, and we got this guy Cameron Poe. In on an involuntary manslaughter beef, non-gang affiliated. He's a parolee hitching a ride home. Fact two, Poe has a chance to get off the plane. Doesn't do it. Why?
That's John Cusack thinking he just might have an ally on a airplane that's been taken over by convicts in 1997's 25-year anniversary.
That's right.
Of Con Air.
Directed by Simon West, who's known for...
Oh, man.
Yes, that's right. No, you haven't been rickrolled. He actually directed Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah, this doesn't count as a rickroll, does it? Because this is just factual information.
This is true. And it's amazing.
Just velvet voice.
So smooth.
All right, thanks, Rick Astley.
Yeah.
So he did that.
But he also...
Tell us more about Simon West.
Yes. It is interesting because Con Air is his first massive picture, or first movie, really. But he also directed General's Daughter, Tomb Raider, and a couple other mostly B movies like Mechanic on Netflix. And so kind of surprising.
Totally surprising.
Who'd you think it was?
I just assumed Michael Bay directed this movie. I just always thought that.
I mean, I can see why, but no.
Okay. All right. I'm wrong. Starring Nicolas Cage as Cameron Poe, John Cusack as U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin, John Malkovich as Cyrus the Virus Grissom, Steve Buscemi as Garland the Mary Eddie Mangler Green, Ving Rhames as Nathan Diamond Dog Jones, Dave Chappelle as Joe Pinball Parker, and Danny Trejo as Johnny 23 Baca. And Cole Meany as Agent Duncan Malloy.
Amazing.
Jesus.
With a budget of $75 million, with a gross worldwide of 224. And that's what I'm talking about, right? He went from directing music videos, 3 music videos from 87 to 95, and then they gave him $75 million to make Con Air.
I could see if they gave him $30 million to make The Transporter. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
$75 million for Con Air is nuts.
And it made $224 million worldwide. So pretty huge success.
Yeah. Not bad. Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 55. But the audience gave it a 75, Derek. And I'm not spoiling my own thoughts on the movie.
Yes, you are.
Because just looking at the scores after having not seen this movie for a while, my first thought was, this has a chance.
This seems, okay.
You know what I mean? Just simply like, it's clearly something that maybe, well, based on these numbers, based on the analytics, they say that, people like the movie, critics might not, but it's certainly the kind of movie that has a chance to get in.
There's something there. And I actually believe that this podcast was almost tailor-made for movies like this.
Whoa, that's quite a statement.
Ones that you remember. Like you said you saw Con Air. You remember it, right?
Yes.
Right. And it's been on TV a lot. I don't know. It's one of those ones where it just seems to me, I remember it being good, haven't sat down and watched it for a long time. And I'm super excited to talk about this.
Reminder, we are watching the movie. It's on the background as we're talking about it. We will get distracted. We'll try to tell you what we see as we talk about it. Also, reminder, rate and review the podcast.
Yes,
we've been getting
please.
better numbers lately.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm
So
assume
thank
that
you.
You're heeding our advice, and then what you have to do is get the friends that you told about the podcast to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then
It's kind of like a pyramid scheme.
It's like a pyramid scheme where no one has to spend any money,
Yeah.
and the popularity of this will spread like wildfire. So Derek, last week we reviewed Universal Soldier.
Excuse me.
On its 30th anniversary, I believe. Pretty bad movie.
Yep.
Any final thoughts about Universal Soldier?
Nope.
The Unisols?
Nope.
I'll say one little thing about it, because I couldn't stop thinking about the comparison between it and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And I just think, we all know what the machine, the T-100 looks like underneath the human skin, right? Like, we know what the AI is underneath Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah.
It's very simple. Like, we get that. Like, he cuts his arm, peels his thing off. He's a machine underneath. Simple concept. In a pretty, like, and not a super simple movie, but Universal Soldier, it's like, are they zombies? There were soldiers that have been dead for 25 years. They have to take this thing. It's just like, I don't understand what these soldiers are.
Right.
And I think that's I mean, there's a lot of problems with the movie, but I think a big part starting out is it's like, there's no intrigue, because it's like, you don't even really understand who these guys are or what they're doing.
Yeah. It's funny because it is a short movie. They could have taken 3 minutes to explain what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it leaves it for later, and then I just don't care anymore. They're zombies, by the way.
They're definitely zombies. I'm on board with zombies.
Thank you. Okay, Derek, let's take a step back. Let's take many steps back.
Yeah.
To 1997. Oh my gosh, it's 1997. It's
beautiful.
Con Air, 25 years ago today.
Well,
I made up today.
No, not today.
But let's pretend.
Let's
pretend. It sounds better.
Yeah.
25 years ago today.
Yeah.
Con Air was released.
And today is a Friday, so it's possible.
And funnily enough, I watched this movie and I noticed it was trending on Twitter today. Random.
Yeah, because of the 25th anniversary.
Today. Perfect. Nailed it. Okay, Derek, so 25 years ago, what are your memories of this movie when you first saw it? Go.
When I first saw it, I was 17, and I mean, I don't know if this movie is perfectly created for a 17-year-old boy, but yeah, I loved it. I saw it in the theater, and I mean, what's not to like? So, like, for an action movie, for what you want when you're going to the theater and seeing an action movie, it's got a lot of great explosions, got a lot of great deaths. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all the stuff, all the things.
It does have all the stuff.
So I'm gonna take a step back. Not quite so far. Just a couple years ago, Derek. I have only saw this movie a couple years ago for the first time.
Really?
And I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Again, like, we talked about this last week with Universal Soldier. I was a discerning jerk as young as 12. And so I saw this, I saw Nick Cage, and I immediately decided I want nothing to do with that. I think Nick Cage was kind of...
But wait, The Rock came out the year before.
Yeah, but his hair.
Okay.
Now today...
I get that.
Today, I see the hair. I'm actually quite into it in a weird way. We'll get more into the hair later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, Nick Cage, hair. No, I was like, he's just cashing in on the success of The Rock. Not interested. So I didn't see this movie, and I did see it a couple years ago. I was honestly like, you know what? I mean, there's a lot of movies in the world I haven't seen, but with this one, I was like, I haven't seen it. I have to get it off my bucket list or whatever. I mean, there's so many good, like, amazing movies I haven't seen, but like Con Air, I got to make sure I see that before I die.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just, it kind of reminded me of The Rock a little bit.
Yeah,
just because like
Because you thought Michael Bay
tone-
directed it.
Yeah, that's probably why. Just the tone of it, kind of. It's not dissimilar, and it stars
Nick Cage, yeah.
So
And the simplicity of
yeah,
it.
I enjoyed it. So what did you think of the rewatch? Going back to it, generally speaking.
Generally speaking, I think this movie has a lot of really great things going on in it, but it also has a lot of really bad things going on in it.
Yes.
But I honestly, I have to say, I enjoyed almost every minute of it for different reasons that we'll get into as we're talking about the movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I enjoyed it watching it again, but again, like it really had been not that long ago that I saw it, so my feelings haven't really changed. Like, enjoyable action movie. There's certainly a lot to talk about, so we'll get into that. First thing we should do is break down the plot.
Okay, there we go.
All right, Derek. I don't know why the responsibility has fallen to you. Tell us what the entire plot of this movie is.
I do bear this burden. Okay. When a new Supermax prison opens up, someone super smart decided to put all of the most violent criminals in the U.S. onto the same plane and move them to this prison. The convicts take over the plane as an extremely articulate U.S. Marshal tries to catch them again.
Okay. Okay. We'll take that. That
I mean,
works.
that's what happens.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Thank you.
And so now what that leads us to is, what are the stakes of the movie?
This is going to be funny.
Do you smell it?
Yes.
It's steaks.
Sizzling steaks.
The steaks are sizzling in this movie. Different steaks, to be sure. Derek, I've got some ideas of what the stakes are. What do you think the stakes are of this movie?
Almost none.
Well, okay.
I mean, it's Cameron Poe and the guards. I mean, shoot the plane down. It's Cameron Poe and the guards. That's it.
Well,
no. When
Cameron Poe is trying to get back to his wife. I think that's the big, like, he's trying to reunite with his wife.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
He's also trying to save the people on board.
No, I understand. But the stakes are those people need to stay alive. Because they could just shoot down the plane over the Grand Canyon.
But there's one name you've forgotten, and it's just embarrassing.
Baby O?
Baby O.
Yeah.
You've forgotten Baby O. I mean, he's trying to say Baby O for the whole movie. He's trying to find him an insulin needle so he can put that in there.
I was so happy when he found that needle, only because I wanted him to stop looking for the friggin' needle.
Baby O's not going to make it.
Baby O definitely shouldn't have made it.
So, just trying to save Baby O, trying to get back to his family. Also, I mean, there's the added... well, actually, you mentioned it. Just the fact that one of the police, Calm Meany, Agent Malloy, is trying to shoot down the plane.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different factors into, like, trying to make it go down. But generally, yeah, he's just trying to save the day.
I definitely played them down because the stakes work in this movie sometimes. But, yeah, it is just... It's a love story.
But you have to care about Cameron Poe and his family in order for the stakes to matter. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop. Like, just if you're listening and you hate what I'm doing, I'm sorry. It's probably gonna continue, and I can't help myself. So what? He was in the army. They did their job. He's back home.
Yeah.
He's like. Did he just walk into the bar where his wife's been waiting? But was she already pregnant? I didn't understand any of that.
Yeah, she was pregnant.
So...
But it's funny because she had no belly, right?
No.
He said, I went to prison... Oh, I guess he would have had the trial and stuff. He said, I went to prison 3 months before she was born. But yeah, sorry.
So Cameron Poe is an army ranger whose services are no longer needed. He goes off to see his girlfriend at a local bar. One of the regulars tries to cut in while he's dancing with her. Poe and his girlfriend end up leaving the bar in the pouring rain. 3 dudes from the bar come and fight them. Things get messy. It looks like Poe's going to be overwhelmed by them, but ends up manslaughtering one of them. He does go to jail, and this sets off the movie. What do you make of this? Wrong place, wrong time for old Cameron Poe.
It works in the sense that we're supposed to feel bad for him, like that he was robbed, basically, right? He fighting those guys, he was defending himself, his wife. The guy brought out a knife. He accidentally killed him, and and obviously you think he's going to get off.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to, he gets 7 to 10, right? So
7 to 10, yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to feel really bad for him, and to a certain level it works, but then at the same time, it's so absurd.
What, just the charge, or that
the
he's
whole thing. He was almost in his car. He could have just got in and drove away. And then the 7 to 10 thing is crazy. There was literally witnesses there.
The judge said he was a lethal weapon.
He was a lethal weapon.
Well, who are the witnesses though? The guy's friends.
His wife.
But she ran off, didn't she? Well, while the fight was happening, she did run off while the fight was happening.
She did, but I mean,
oh, she's not a witness.
Well, I mean,
I don't think you know how witnesses work.
She could.
You got to be there to see it with your eyes.
Yeah, but she could have lied. Is all I'm saying.
That's your own legal yarn to untangle at a later date, Derek. I will have no part of it. Is there anything else I have to talk about with this opening scene?
Other than it was a pretty cool fight scene. It was quick, but I liked it. I don't mind pouring rain scenes.
And we do know that Cameron Poe can handle himself.
Exactly.
We learned a little something.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Say there was a disturbance, but everything's under control. Say it, or I will kill you.
Without me, you got nobody to fly the plane.
I never think that far ahead.
All right, I'm doing it. Just take it easy.
And if you say a word about this over the radio, the next wings you see will belong to the flies buzzing over your rotting corpse.
Carson City.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I have the only gun on board. Welcome to Con Air.
All right.
Amazing.
That's John Malkovich just
amazing.
Letting everyone know that the power structure upon the
hierarchy.
It's changed. New power structure. The convicts are in charge. Derek, this starts with Dave Chappelle pinball removing a little tiny container of gasoline and a match from his throat that he swallowed. What do you make of this scene and how it unfolds, and just the convicts taking over the plane?
And then the Cyrus the Virus and Diamond Dog pull needles out of their hands to pick their cuffs. I loved it.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah,
they got themselves a good old fashioned plan.
It happens fast, and I don't know how much we're going to talk about the music, but I found a lot of the times the music, although not great, was in the background. Like there was a lot of sound, like you hear a lot of commotion on the plane. The music's there,
right?
But it's not like, what was it, The Dark Knight, where it was just pounding you in the face,
just bashing you over the head like a mallet, like a big, a big hammer mallet.
But I love this scene.
It works. It's a lot. It feels like a prison riot in a plane.
Yeah,
you know,
and like even before this, I like the way the guards act, like the captain, I don't know, the head guard, the way his monologue. I don't know. I find all of this works really well.
It does also feel like something that would just happen in a plane, or sorry, in a prison. Like this is the kind of like weird stuff they would do, like lighting a person on fire.
Yeah, to create a diversion.
Just totally wild, but also kind of believable, if that makes any sense.
I mean, the only way, like, I agree with you. It is kind of believable. The whole planning of it is what gets me, but pulling it off, I get. And this also has a great death when Ving Rhames' Diamond Dog breaks out of his cage and the broken or the handcuff kill.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was he? I actually wasn't positive. Awesome. Like, was he stabbing him in the neck with handcuffs?
Just ripping it open.
Ugh.
Just good stuff.
So Dave Chappelle releases the other prisoners.
Like it's pure mayhem.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy that the plane doesn't go down somehow. And the
insulin.
No, that Marty McSorley.
What?
Are you serious? Derek.
Marty McSorley?
Marty McSorley's in this movie. Ex-hockey player Marty McSorley. Doesn't say a word. He's the co-pilot. He grabs a gun. He's going to go be part of the movie. He's going to go help save the day, but he dies immediately. Doesn't say, oh, look. Oh. Cyrus the Virus accidentally gets him to shoot 2 of the inmates. Cyrus the Virus turns the gun on Marty McSorley, shoots him twice in the gut. He's gone.
I gotta say, I don't think John Malkovich is gonna take out Marty McSorley.
Well,
That's
no,
funny.
but Cyrus the Virus is.
Oh, for sure.
So it kind of just, I mean, I don't know, like...
But I love the chaos
Hold
of
on.
that scene.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Marty McSorley's in this movie. I've said it like 3 or 4 times. You haven't even, like, acknowledged it.
I mean, it is crazy.
But, like, I saw it. I'm like, oh my God, Marty McSorley. Like, first time I saw it.
To be fair, I haven't seen Marty McSorley since, like, the 90s.
I'm a little surprised you didn't know that was Marty McSorley. Oh, hold on one sec.
For those who don't know, Marty McSorley is famous for being the enforcer on the LA Kings protecting Wayne Gretzky.
I was going to do a Twitter poll and see if people knew who Marty McSorley was. It doesn't matter.
We can delete.
No, it's fine.
Leave it in.
Let's leave it like it is. I think it's going pretty good. So Marty McSorley dies. Cyrus grabs the gun, shoots Marty McSorley twice. Yeah, most of my notes here just involve Marty McSorley. Derek, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Is there anything you want to add about this scene?
No, it's great. It's great. It's a good bloody action movie scene. It's chaotic, but it all makes sense. It all works. Yeah, it's great.
Christ, don't be slaughtered. This is Larkin. Tell your men to fall back.
John Cusack trying to get the men to fall back on a phone that cannot work. See how charred his phone was? It was like melted. It was like melting in his hand. He's holding black goo. Oh man. So we've jumped forward here substantially.
Quite a bit. This is like the last 35, 40 minutes of the movie.
We'll get to a lot of the movie, I think, with our top 5.
Well,
and explosions and deaths. Like, we have a lot to cover that's not the main
But I will just want to say this.
thrust of this movie. Sorry.
Why we skipped so far ahead. One of the reasons why we did was, like Matt mentioned many times, what we look for in action movies are something that you can really, like, speak to, or, like Matt likes to say, hang your hat on.
Yeah, that's right.
And although up to this point, we talked about the convicts taking over the airplane, a lot of other stuff happens that's kind of exciting, or there's a little bit of tension there, but it's very quick.
Yes.
So we jump to this because this is a massive action set piece. And so basically the authorities are coming to Lerner Airfield where they landed, and I don't know if they forced them, but they drove down. I don't know if it's just the only street into Lerner Airfield, but it's a kill box, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, the other thing too is, just to mention to what you were saying, we're trying to just focus in on 3 main scenes per movie. So we have to pick the 3 kind of best things, and
standout
it just so
pieces.
happens that, you know, there is that big gap before we get to our second thing. But again, we'll cover more stuff. But yeah, so this starts off ambush on the police. Explosion. There's a nice explosion in the background over one of like the plane is in the foreground. The explosion kind of pops up behind them. It's really cool.
There's a lot of great explosions in this section here.
There's just because the plane. I like before they get started.
Yes.
Cyrus the Virus like makes like a little diorama of what they have. It's actually looks pretty close to what they end up having. It's
accurate.
They have this plan to like shoot the first car and the last car in a convoy, and you know, it works pretty good. There's a pretty good joke we'll get to a little bit later with that.
But like, so they line up, they also put propane and they turn the gas on, and the soldiers walking in, you gotta smell that, right? Like,
I thought that too.
Honestly,
I did think that too.
Also, they probably didn't need to turn them on. If you blow up a can of propane, it's still going to blow up. But it's a great action sequence here. A lot of people dying, a lot of great. The filming here is really good.
And there's also A great shot here where
It's not exactly Mai Tais and Yahtzee out here. Let's do it.
this is for Baby O.
Some running.
You know what? Let's just jump into it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it. We got a little spot here. We got a little opening. I'm going to walk right through the opening. If I can find it. Here we go.
Run.
Here we go.
We saw him running. We like to rate people, our action stars, as they run. On a scale of 1 to 11, 11 being Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
The only person who can hold that 11th spot. Number 2, just for reference, with a 10, is the T-1000
That's
from
right.
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Robert Patrick, congratulations. Derek, we saw a little bit of running here. How would you rate Nick Cage running in this movie?
He runs a couple times. Mm-hmm. He looks... I mean, he's jacked in this.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you for pointing that out.
He looks great.
Looks
in that,
amazing.
That tank top and tight jeans. He's got legs that go for miles.
He's svelte. He's like, just running like a deer. There he's running again. We just saw it.
Yeah, that didn't look great.
So you got to give it a
Okay,
score.
I'm giving him a score. In the slow mo, he looked good, but I'm giving him a 6.
Okay. You know, I'm right there with you, but I want to specify it is a soft 6.
Ooh,
Very, very soft 6.
rumbly.
Yeah.
He was.
I almost went 5. It looks a little wooden. A little stiff.
Yeah, he's got a stretch.
Yeah.
His hammies and quads might be tight.
I don't think they're on the plane that long. He's been getting
that's
up. He's
fair.
been walking around.
He's dehydrated.
How do you think Baby O feels?
Oh man,
He's not doing great. Okay, so back to the scene. Because a lot happens.
so much happens. One thing I like about it is the police or the army sent a ton of people, which they should have, right?
It's so good. Like,
there's so many times.
one of my things I've noticed over our time doing this is I'm always like, where are the local authorities?
Yeah.
No more. Not in Con Air. Not in Con Air. Won't have it. They're omnipresent, ineffective, but they're there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some good stuff with the slow motion. We mentioned that scene where Poe is doing the run. It looks great. I also like, we have slow motion John Malkovich with a shotgun. We have slow motion John Malkovich with an automatic rifle. There's so many explosions happening here.
So many. There was a great one where Poe has to jump out the window. Yeah, it's a solid 10 minutes of really good stuff.
And there's also a nice little scene where Poe saves Bishop, the female god, from Danny Trejo. And he also gets the needle to get Baby O his much-needed insulin. Poe also ties...
Don't know what to say.
I don't even know either. I'm sorry. Poe also ties the as kicker to the plane, which is a nice thing.
Well, no, he doesn't. He wraps it around the cement pole, and then they shoot the pole, and then the thing, the hook, whips out.
A lot of action going on.
So much. I don't.
trying to
No,
type all
listen.
this is
I
happening.
understand. And then the watchtower gets taken out. It's amazing.
That looks like my car.
Your car, boy?
Couldn't be. I left mine at the office.
He's got a very small face, by the way.
It's so weird.
It's a tiny little face on a big old round head. Cole Meany. O'Brien from Star Trek, if you're familiar.
That's right.
On any other day, that might seem strange. When he sees the car hang off the back of the plane.
got it.
And then Ass Kicker falls right in front of Cole Meany. It's a nice little touch.
A lot of great practical effects in this movie.
It really wrecked that car. Yeah.
Like that was great. Like they dropped a car out of the sky for that.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
That's $75 million, Ass Kicker.
Well, this is over. So are you, you little prick. Do not respond now.
All I can think about is like, there ain't no God. Like he don't exist. Hey, where you going?
I'm gonna show you God does exist.
So Derek, I in my notes I have this scene entitled "Cameron Poe shows Baby-O that God does exist."
Yeah.
Just amazing, amazing acting. So we've jumped ahead just a few minutes here, really, but we couldn't include what happened in the last scene, the ambush, in this because it's just too much is happening. But yeah, I love this scene. Larkin and Malloy are chasing the plane with helicopters. Baby-O is dying. Cameron Poe starts fighting. He starts fighting everyone. When he says, "I'm going to show you God exists," I think he's talking about himself. And he goes like Royal Rumble style on the
just
entire
crazy.
plane.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. He
I'm
gets
gonna
shot
show
at
you-
one point.
It doesn't flinch.
Doesn't flinch. The soaring electric guitar. I know we just heard it here.
I really like how this unfolds because, like, it's insane when Poe marches to the front of the plane. But aside from how crazy he is, there's some good action there. And then when they're about to shoot the missile at the plane, I don't know why Larkin really doesn't want to shoot down this plane. I don't know, but what he does, you're like, yeah, like I don't want Cameron Poe to die.
I mean, I don't want him to die either, but I don't know why. It doesn't make sense for that character, Malloy, to decide, like, yes, you're right, I'm not going to shoot down the plane.
Yeah. Well, at that point, at that point, he's trusting Larkin and who's trusting Poe. That's basically what's happening.
I guess, but
yeah.
But Poe doesn't have the plane yet. Like,
well, he
Cyrus
did because they locked the door. That's why this movie is so absurd. The co-pilot should have never left the cockpit.
You're not supposed to,
and everything would have been fine.
No, I completely forgot that they're going to land this thing on the LA Strip, the Vegas Strip. Sorry,
Vegas, yeah.
I mean, they did touch on it later, which actually was nice. That they made a horrible decision,
terrible decision, but. To be fair, what I like, the difference between this and most other action movies is the guy flying the plane doesn't care. He's caught, he's either going to die or he's going to jail. He doesn't care. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
in a normal movie, the hero's flying by now and trying to land at the airport. But in this one, Swamp Thing seems...
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing doesn't care.
He's all out of...
Yeah.
He has got no craps left to give.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to give it a shot, but...
How many people would have died?
Oh, thousands.
I mean, just the fact that like take the neck off the Hard Rock Cafe guitar sign.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to fall on some people, right?
Yeah, that's gonna hurt a few people.
They make it out that like nobody died, but I kind of feel like a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, at least really hurt.
Thousands injured.
Yes.
Dozens.
Dozens I think
killed?
that's probably more realistic. Yeah, dozens killed.
Gotta say, this doesn't look bad.
No, but they make it look plausible.
Part of it,
I have to admit,
there's like,
but there's
sections
no way
where it's like doesn't look realistic, but for the most part.
Oh, you're talking about that? Yeah.
Like the actual graphic, like.
There's moments.
There's moments where it's like, yeah, you can see there's some computer stuff happening that's not great, but it's for a second. And doesn't bother me at all.
And I actually read the casino that they actually crash into at the end was being demolished. And they actually let them crash an actual, not actual, but a prop plane into the hotel, which was pretty awesome. Because it looks great. The crash into the hotel looks amazing.
It does. It goes right in there.
Yeah.
It looks like it should be stopping earlier than that.
It looked a little slow there. And the propeller cutting through the plane.
Just randomly.
It's just awesome.
I like how it just cut between
them.
Yeah, right between, that's great. Right between Cyrus and Poe. I love that the slot machine hits sevens.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Lots of money flying around at the end of this movie.
Then,
yeah.
It's kind of like they kind of saved the day because whoever survives the crash survives. They apprehend as many of the inmates as they can, but a bunch of them get away. It's kind of over. It could be over for Cameron Poe. He doesn't owe anybody anything else at this point.
No, it's a little bit silly.
But he sees Cyrus and a couple guys getting away on a fire truck, and I just love how him and Cusack both get on the police motorcycles at the same time, kind of give each other like a knowing look.
Yeah.
And they just steal them. Where are the local authorities?
There's so many keys left in vehicles in this movie.
Thank God. So they steal the bikes. Like it's the most like it's fine. Like neither of them are like, should we be taking these bikes? It's just normal. They're hopping on the bikes.
Yeah, they gotta
look
go.
great.
They gotta go.
So they're chasing them.
They're commandeering them.
They get into a tunnel. John Malkovich is shooting a water cannon at them.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I was thinking, like, if you're John Malkovich, you've shot a pistol, you've shot a shotgun, an automatic rifle, a water cannon. You lit a guy on fire. Like, he must have had a blast.
Who did he? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Sayonara.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. So yeah, it just occurred to me he was having a lot of fun.
He
probably
definitely
doing this
had
movie.
fun making this movie.
But
the fight scene, what do you think about like climbing up the ladder? And then, listen, nobody is when Cyrus pops his head out of the bottom of the plane, which just happened now in the movie, hilarious. But when
confirmed.
But when somebody gets a broomstick stabbed through your ankle out the other side, you are not standing up ever again.
Never,
I don't
no.
think.
And then he just pulled it back out of
He
his
pulled
leg.
it out and it was like, it's fine.
How strong is Cameron Poe? He snapped that stick with one arm while he was hanging from the thing. Very strong. I'll just answer the question. But before that, Ving Rhames is still, Diamond Dog is still on here. Nathan Diamond Dog is still on the fire truck. I don't understand what happens here.
Oh, it's amazing.
Poe just shoots. He basically shoots the motorcycle at him.
Yeah.
And it blows up immediately. Like,
Well,
why does it blow up?
Well, yeah, of course.
It doesn't make it, but it doesn't make sense.
No,
that
it doesn't
blows
make
up, right?
sense.
But it drives him into him pretty slowly as well.
But Ving Rhames' scream here, since we're playing it, let's give it a listen.
Let's go live. Let's go live.
Yeah.
Con Air.
Here we go. It's like it was like Tarzan.
There was no need, but I don't understand why it blew up. It's so big.
Because
is Ving Rhames made of gasoline?
Because it's Con Air.
I think that's.
I mean, that's
okay,
it.
That's as good an answer as we're gonna get.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. So Poe stabs Cyrus through the leg. Cyrus dies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Let's save that because I think we might get into it a little bit later.
I think so. He's tough. He's tough to kill. Holy. What? So the fire truck. I love when Larkin cuts a hole in the roof of the cab of the fire truck, pours water into it, and then for some reason, absolutely no reason whatsoever, Swamp Thing just flies out the windshield.
Doesn't make any sense.
He just takes off out of the windshield. What happened?
Crazier than all that. Just the song at the end.
Yes.
Like we've watched Insane Madness for an hour and what?
2 hours.
35 minutes.
No, it's just under 2 hours. It's an hour 55.
45. Take out the anyway. It's just funny. This.
I got a present for you.
I got a present for you, Casey.
Oh my God. It's a little dirty.
I wouldn't say hi to you either.
Fine.
A little dirty.
Little dirty. I was gonna get a haircut.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's top 5, Derek. I have about 10 things here. I don't know how to cut this down. Let's just start going through them.
Yeah, let's just go through them fast. You want to go back and forth? Because I have about 10 too.
Sure, we'll do them as fast as we can.
Okay. So one of my favorite things about this movie is the supporting cast. And at one point in time, Malkovich, when Nathan or Diamond Dog's about to kill the security guards and Poe stops him, Cyrus the Virus is on the plane and he says, "We know how Nathan feels about killing guards, and my own proclivities are well known and often lamented facts of penal lore." It's just amazing.
That was actually just John Malkovich.
He improvised the whole movie.
Right?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
It's a good one. I have. Let's see. So, Cyrus the Virus is like, okay, we have a traitor in our midst. Cameron Poe spent the first hour and a half just trying trying to get Baby-O his needle. Finally gets him his needle. 2 minutes later, Baby-O gives himself up and gets shot.
Yeah.
It's like... So, like, Cameron was just sad because his friend died, but I think mostly frustrated that he spent so much time trying to save him, then he died immediately right after. You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't die.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did both. Damn it. Seemed like...
Although there's no way. He had no insulin forever, and then he gets a shot, and then he's shot immediately.
It's a little sketchy. That's why it's my number 10.
Okay.
Derek, you're number 9.
Okay. It's absolutely... It's crazy to me that the plane took off, the Swamp Thing made a point, because they had pinball stuck in the wheel saying we're only going 200 miles an hour, that it got to Lerner Airfield later after the car.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, there's no way that's possible.
Well, there is one way it's possible. He was driving the ass kicker. He wasn't just driving a car with a regular license plate.
I mean, unless it had a flux capacitor, I don't think it was going to make it.
I'm just going to say, for my number 9, I'm going to say shout out. Just a general shout out. This movie, Cameron Poe, forward thinking. He saves Bishop from the rapist. Danny Trejo. Cameron Poe saves the day. 2022, I think we could all just take that sentence. Don't treat women like that. Let's be more like Cameron Poe. I just enjoyed that. You know, when Danny Trejo gets his comeuppance.
Yeah, that's
Derek,
fair.
Your next thing.
My next thing is in the cargo hold, Billy Bedlam and Cameron Poe like charge at each other like bent over, and it's so ridiculous.
It's a little awkward.
It's so awkward.
It looks funny, certainly. When Cyrus is making the diorama of their plan to attack the local authorities, and he's pointing to all these different things, like, okay, this is the plane, these are the local authorities, this is our tower, and then the Viking guy says, well, what's this? He points to a rock, and Cyrus says, that's a rock.
Yeah, that's good.
Just a good one. Derek,
next one. Pinball falling on the car.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Love that. Love that.
If this thing goes bad, Locke, then I'm afraid my daughter won't understand. If you talk to my wife again, you tell her I love her. She's my hummingbird.
Just the scene. Just that it slows down, and he's talking about his hummingbird. And you promised me, Locke, you're going to tell my hummingbird about what happened to me, and that I did a good job out here. Okay, Derek, your next one. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
It's such a ridiculous scene.
Okay, mine is when they land in Carson City, and they have all these super criminals all in one place. There's like a guy next door doing tour flights like right there, and takes off immediately after this super criminal plane takes off. Like, it's crazy.
Nice one. My next one, John Cusack's huge suit.
It's huge. I had that one.
He looks like he's going as a member of Talking Heads for Halloween. Because it's a humongous suit. It's huge. Like bigger than a regular size suit. Derek, your next thing.
At the end of the movie, when they stole the motorbikes and they're chasing the fire truck, 2 cops see them and drop their donut. A plane just crashed on the strip, and you're just hanging out having a donut as cops. The cops, oh my God,
laid it on pretty thick.
Just ridiculous.
I don't even remember what this is, but I remember I had a timestamp for 45 minutes. Let's just see what it is. Let's just play it.
And you little shit, you got my agent killed.
Hey! He brought a gun on the plane.
If I knew the way you guys run things, I would have bring a fucking Uzi on board.
An Uzi.
It was the Uzi.
It's the Uzi.
That's why it was. That's why it worked for me. Just like, I was like, what is he gonna say? Bring like a nuclear weapon on board?
A bazooka.
An Uzi.
An Uzi. I'm gonna bring a slingshot.
Basically, just as we've talked about on the show Uzis. Not a good weapon.
No.
Not a good weapon. Derek, your next thing.
Next one, when he writes his daughter from jail, he talks about the prison yard, and you're like, dude,
It's too much.
come on.
It's too much.
It's crazy.
Just the classic when Nick Cage first gets off the prisoner bus and he smells the
Oh,
sweet,
yeah.
the
I had
sweet
that.
scent of freedom.
Yeah.
We've all seen the
Super
GIF.
slow-mo.
We've all seen the GIF. We've all used it. Derek, your next
Okay,
thing.
this is my last one. The whole scene with Buscemi and the little girl, and basically knowing that the little girl wasn't eaten by him at the when you see her after the plane takes off.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was going to eat her. I remember thinking that the first time I watched this, he's going to eat that little girl.
I think we all did, and like that whole thing was creepy because I'm like,
The abandoned trailer park.
well, yeah, and she's just hanging out in a swimming pool, I guess, but like
Super gross.
just waiting for something to happen. Like, I mean, I didn't want that to happen either, but why didn't he? That's like that's what he does. He was free. He could have.
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
Yeah. That was my last one.
All right. My next thing, just mentioned it, the ass kicker license plate. And then my number one, just the introduction to Poe and his voice and just meeting Baby O, just a thing of beauty.
Dearest Tricia, I think of you always. Your smile, your laugh. I'm not angry. The blame's gotta fall on me. I am, however, torn apart when I think that I won't be there to see our child come into the world, cradled in your arms, and her first smile.
This
I got your
whole,
package.
I mean, we can listen to the whole thing. We don't have to, but
Yeah,
just
it's just hilarious.
Met a guy just the other day, Baby O.
I met a guy just the other day, a Baby O.
I'd like to point out that Baby O has diabetes and should not be eating snowballs.
But he sure does love them. That was our extended top 5.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
All right, next thing we should talk about, we should try to break down, I don't know how this works, but our bad guys. Who's the bad guy in this movie, Derek?
What do you mean?
You only knew the power of the dark side.
I'm a killer. I'm a murdering bastard. You know that?
I expect you to die.
Darth Vader, I know he's the bad guy. Kill Bill, I know he's the bad guy. Bill from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
That last one. Goldfinger, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Bad guy.
And
Lots
the
of- but-
and the Joker.
lots
Don't
of
forget
bad-
the Joker.
And the Joker. Lots of bad guys in this. Like, who's the John Malkovich?
Clearly,
Cyrus the
no,
Virus.
Yeah, he's clearly the head, the head bad guy.
But we also have Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
Johnny 23.
Well, they even make a point in the movie to say why he's playing second fiddle to him, to Cyrus. So I don't want to get into.
Steve Buscemi. Super creepy. Lots of bad guys. What do we think of them? I guess. So you're saying John Malkovich is the main bad guy. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah.
What do we think of the larger conversation? We have a huge ensemble cast in this.
Yeah.
Who works for you best in this movie?
Almost all of the bad guys. Swamp Thing's the only one that's a little bit weak for me. But, I mean, the only reason why this movie has a chance at all to make it into the Action Movie Hall of Fame is because of this cast, the supporting cast. John Malkovich, some of the lines that he says in this movie are so cheesy that if they were by anybody else,
This is true.
it would be terrible.
He brings in certain gravitas.
He nails it. I mean, what does he say? Stop, don't move, or the bunny gets it. Like, in anybody else's hands, that's what?
It's pretty bad.
It's what? But when he does it, and Ving Rhames, I think, is great. I actually love all the bad guys in this.
Dave Chappelle's really good.
Dave Chappelle's great.
Short-lived. He could have probably been in it longer.
Yeah.
I think.
Steve Buscemi is perfect.
Super creepy.
For what they wanted in this movie.
I will say, though, and I remember thinking this the first time I watched it, I was waiting for something else to happen with that character. Because there's really...
Yeah, but I think that's the point.
Well, yeah. He was fine. He was there. He went for the ride, and then he left. It was a little weird. No, but I mean, it's a little weird that he just like
he didn't eat anybody.
I thought it would have been funny if he was made to be this crazy, creepy character, and then he like added a piece of levity that was helpful towards the end. I thought that would have been fun. I don't know, like a turn that we weren't expecting. Like if he somehow helped out or delivered a funny line, something. You know what I mean? Like he's so one note.
I liked his line about Bedlam, about how he wasn't hugged, he was hugged too much, and then the line about Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting something more.
Okay.
I was like waiting for him to really contribute like a scene.
Okay, I see.
He's just saying stuff.
I mean, that scene, the scene he contributed to was with the girl in the pool. But I see what you're saying with the rest of the cast, like in the main context of the movie. He's so despicable, and like I was waiting for him to like just do something kind of out of character, just say something funny, or just I don't know, maybe like trip someone and like kind of like give like a little friendly wave to Cameron Poe or something. I don't know. Okay.
I thought there was a thing there, like a something that could be useful with that character that didn't play out. That was just. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. I totally disagree. I think he brought enough of that creepiness. I love the industrial music that came out of nowhere when Diamond Dog was taking his mask off. I felt like he nailed that perfect underneath the surface. I'm a monster, but I'm playing it cool. Like I thought he was really, really good in this. And I know it sounds silly to saying that about Con Air, but it's fine. Agree to disagree. You're wrong. Let's get into our explosions. There's a lot of them. It's hard to delineate the ones at Lerner in the kill box. Then maybe they're not that great explosions. I mean, they're plentiful. Yeah, but probably not memorable. I don't know. What jumps out to you? So I would say John Cusack when they're in Cyrus's cell. And there's a box. Oh, yeah. There's a box and he tells her, like, that one's really good. Don't open that. It says don't open it. Yeah. And then the guy opens it and they blow up it. Close, we see kind of their bodies kind of disintegrate quickly in front of us. One guy gets pushed, like force pushed. It's nice. I would say the airplane at the gas station. That's a nice one. That one's really good. Really big. Yeah. Then I got the ambush on the police. I mentioned it earlier, but there's a nice explosion that kind of pops up behind the plane that's in the forefront. But I mean, there's a good one where one of the bad guys gets crushed by a plane, like a part of a plane. Yeah, I'm probably missing some, but do you have a favorite explosion? Yeah, my favorite for sure, because it stood out so much, was the one in the prison cell. Right on. Yeah, I really like that one. I wasn't expecting to see the guy who was holding the box get blown sideways. Yeah, that was really cool. And yours? Do you have one? I feel like I haven't done a good job explaining it, but in that Lerner airfield, like there is just a moment where like just a big explosion shows up behind and it looks really good. Yeah. I'm not doing a good job explaining it, but it's there and I liked it and it looked good. And it seemed like all of those, I would say, were just actual explosions. Totally. Yeah. Hard to imagine those being just, effects. All right, let's get into, and I think we have some good candidates here for best death. Yeah, there's some good ones. Just some ones I noted. Right at the beginning, Poe like punching that guy, break his nose, and ending him. That's a good one. Sayonara. Yes. Sayonara. Yeah. The guy tries to pull one over on Cyrus, tries to take off in the plane that he's got, that they're all supposed to leave on. It gets kind of cut in half. The guy climbs out of the back. He's covered in gasoline. He's trying to gas everywhere. He's trying to appeal to Cyrus, the virus's better side. Doesn't work. Throws the lighter. Or actually, no. He takes a cigarette out of Swamp Thing's mouth. Love how Swamp Thing just stands there. And we all know what's going to happen. Yeah. And it's just so good. Thing. And then he just throws it, and it's a nice explosion. And again, like almost like that one in the Cyrus's cell, just. Close explosion. We see someone just kind of disappear in flames. It's gross, but works. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. And then, oh my god, Cyrus's death.
Cyrus's death, yes.
Lots happening. Do you want to kind of explain what happens there?
Yes, I do.
It's a myriad of things.
So they're fighting on the back of the fire truck.
Yes.
And Poe wins. Poe wins the fight. Handcuffs. Where did he get handcuffs? Oh, maybe on the bike. I don't know. But he gets handcuffs. Handcuffs Cyrus the Virus to the ladder
of the fire engine.
Of the
this
back
is
of
after
the fire
he stabbed him through the leg with
through
like
the
a
leg, yeah.
a stick.
That's right. With
big
like a
wooden
mop
dowel.
handle.
Yes.
Yeah, huge. And so then instead of just killing him, it's amazing. He raises the ladder so he runs into a
like a
walkway.
pedway. Yeah.
Pedway.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. A pedway, which he somehow gets detached from the ladder, which means either the handcuffs broke or the ladder broke.
Or his arm just ripped right off.
Well, no, we saw. It was fine.
I don't remember.
Yeah. And he somehow lands in the middle of Las Vegas.
It's crazy.
Lands on a conveyor belt that on a 45-degree angle that takes him up, drops him down into a rock thing.
And why is it there? Who knows? And just his head fits into this like thing perfectly, and it just drops like a huge, like, what is that?
Like a ton. It's got to be a ton. A metric ton, I will say.
But what is it? It's like a ball? It's like some sort of like...
It's clearly... Well, it's just a weight. It's, for some reason, it's a rock breaker. Like, that's all it does. It crushes rocks.
Right. Like the thing you would swing from the end of like a crane and like...
Well, that's a wrecking ball.
But that's kind of what I'm going... That's the closest thing I could think of, right?
Yeah. It's just a giant weight.
It's a huge weight.
Yeah.
And it falls on his head.
Right on his face.
Crushes him like a watermelon.
It's just a nice little twitch of the legs, too.
So, Derek, what's your favorite death in this movie?
Well, I'm going to go with the one we didn't see, Pinball getting crushed in the wheels. No, of course it's got to be Cyrus. I mean, it's so elaborate. It's like a game of mousetrap.
and not only, like, best death in this movie...
It's up there, if that's what you're thinking.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. Best death in cinema history.
Oh my God, no. Can't be. Can't be.
Best death in action movie cinema history?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Is anything going to work on you?
No. Okay, you got me.
Anyway, best death in cinema history. All right, and last one. We got to jump into it before we make our deliberation. Derek, what was the best scene?
Is that all you got, huh?
Is that all you got?
Is that all you got?
Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Is that all you got?
Best scene.
What is it?
What do you got?
I'm going with it was a tough one. I had to throw a few up there and think about it. I really love the fire truck scene at the end. I actually really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the breakout, or when they take over the plane.
Okay.
The chaos, all of it just really worked.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Things are going crazy. I'm gonna go with Pinball falling on that couple's car.
That was great.
It's just
so good.
The music is so like happy. It's just of everything that's happening. I don't know, that scene. I mean, is it really the best scene? Yes.
It's very memorable.
There's lots happening in the movie, and this is just like a 30-second cutaway. But man, it just works.
It really works.
It's funny. Pinball falls. It's just so like shocking. You know, and he does a lot of damage, and then just
totally would though. Like it would totally crush that car.
I'm surprised his whole body didn't just explode into like nothing from that height. But yeah, it was just a nice little moment of levity among everything else.
It was great.
All right, Derek, time to get serious here.
Let's do it.
The music's tense. There's a reason. We were deciding if Con Air should be in the Action Movie Hall of Fame. 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, 75% critics audience score. Someone's going to be upset. Someone's going to disagree. Derek, your thoughts on this?
like I said earlier, I think this is the type of movie that this podcast was essentially made for. Deciding what movies because we know a lot of the classics are going to get in. There's a lot of not great action movies that we know are not going to get in, but there's movies in that gray area. There's a lot of them that are worth talking about, and this is definitely one of them. This movie is basically two-faced. It has two things going on here. One, it's got an amazing supporting cast.
Yes.
The supporting cast in this movie is so good that if it wasn't these actors, if it was
just regular people,
just some like B movie people,
Right.
or maybe even just a step lower in some of these quality of these actors, it would be terrible. The other thing that it has going for it is it's got some amazing action sequences in this movie. I think the take over the plane looks great. It's really fun and it's exciting. The attack in Lerner Airfield is really great. The crash at the end, the fire truck, all of that is really good. And also a lot of little things that happen in the movie are really good. There's a great scene between Larkin and Trisha Poe. You know, it's a quiet scene, but Monica Potter is good in this movie for the small parts that she plays in it.
Yeah.
But then at the other side, this movie is so astonishingly bad that it's amazing, because the story in this is just stupid. It's just really bad. The lead actor and his accent is just unbelievable, but honestly, most of the time, it's so bad, it's hilarious.
It does keep me entertained.
It's so entertaining that for me, I can't not put it in.
Oh, wow.
I will watch this again and again and again, because it's got just those two things going for it. And for me, it's so fun. It's so entertaining.
Okay.
I'm putting it in. It's a yes.
Okay,
Sorry
wow.
that took so long.
No, it's okay. Impassioned plea for Con Air being in the Action Movie Hall of Fame. So
that's right.
A lot of pressure.
I love doing this. I love putting a movie in and finally you feeling.
I love the pressure. I mean, I'm the decider. I get to decide now. Yeah. You know, it was a tough one because I was kind of thinking about life. What are we doing here? Like, what is this podcast? And because there's some movies we haven't let in and other movies we have, and I was thinking, well, is this the action movie is this Action Movie Hall of Fame? Yes. Is the Action Movie Hall of really amazing action movies? Well, it's kind of that too. You know, like, so for example, we let Looper in a few weeks ago. Is it super famous though? No, but it's such good quality, it has to be in the Hall of Fame for action movies.
Okay.
This has its issues, but it's also the Action Movie Hall of Fame. Do you catch what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can't not put Con Air in the Action Movie Hall of Fame. Con Air, congratulations. It's just that simple, man. Like, it's just too entertaining.
It's so
the
good.
cast is so crazily amazing, as you mentioned. Like, and you made a good point. Like, if this is other people, lesser actors, this movie's like just straight bad. Cameron Poe's his accent, it's ridiculous, but I kind of love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll put it like this for you.
It's amazing.
His accent is basically my own hummingbird in this movie. So congratulations. Sorry for the accent. Derek, any final thoughts on Con Air?
Yeah, one thing we didn't really mention at all, though, is the rewatchability of this. There's a reason.
Hopefully.
There's a reason why this is on TV as much as like Shawshank is.
Yeah.
So many quotable lines. Just if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's 2 hours of just fun.
And it's not even 2 hours, and it goes by really quickly.
Yeah.
There's not really like a lot of wasted. I mean, even the slow parts. It's Nick Cage's accent.
It's so funny.
Just bathe in it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, everyone. That is it for this week's episode of the Action Movie Hall of Fame. Visit us on Twitter at ActionMovieHOF or at ActionMovieHallOfFame.com.
And there's a lot going on in the world right now. So, why don't you like and subscribe to our to our podcast, so that way you get a little bit of levity every week. You won't miss an episode. You're not, at the end of the week, you're not wondering like, why do my weeks suck so bad? I missed the Action Movie Hall of Fame. I gotta subscribe.
There's a lot going on in the world. Make sure you subscribe before it's too late. Before there's no more podcasts left. And we'll make sure the start of your week is always action-packed with a new episode out every Monday. Derek, what should people watch for next week's episode to prepare?
Next week, we're keeping it in 97.
We're staying in the air.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're staying in the air with 97's Air Force One.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. I can't wait to see that old rickety man run around. Until next time, keep fit and have fun.
Thank you.
Happy trails, Hans.
Anara.
Court's adjourned.
Get off my plane. Hasta la vista, baby.